Yo, 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 yo.
It's that time again.
You know it's that time. Welcome everybody to Just Our Opinion Guys episode 17. We got O in the house. We got Miss Kimberly Santos in the house.
Facts.
What's up?
What's up? Thank you for having me back again.
You're welcome. You did such an excellent job last time. I thought, you know what? Let's get Kim back on the show to add a bit of a female perspective to it. A little less testosterone, a little bit more estrogen in the house.
Amen.
Oh, how you been? How was your weekend?
My brother, I'm good. My weekend was nice and relaxing. Got work done, chilled, watched a new TV show that I found out about called Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Ray Donovan.
You late to the party, bro.
I mean, what is
Ray
it?
Donovan is like on season 5.
Oh, shit. Well, is this on Netflix?
No. It might be on Netflix now, but it
Don't
wasn't
worry,
on Netflix.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you
Oh
the
no,
link.
I've got Cody, so I've got everything.
Say no more. It will definitely be on there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It will definitely be on there. So also literally found out a deal where you can get like 60-minute Swedish deep tissue massage and then half an hour of acupuncture for like £21.
That's cheap.
And then I just you know the ones I got it from the plug.
So
shout out to the plug.
Whereabouts is it gonna be? Where is
It's
it?
gonna be somewhere in Islanden, and I'll give you the full details off
Okay.
off microphone. But shout out to the plug.
No, just careful because I've had a group on before where I've got a good deal. I'm thinking I'm gonna get like some nice plush massage, and then I've ended up some back alley.
We're like a brothel.
It looked like it was the like red light and then shit.
I ain't
you
even
know
trying
what
to go, man like me because, I don't pay for sex, guys, I don't need to go to no brothel.
But this is the thing, right?
Do you reckon
Whether directly or indirectly, we do pay for sex, but that's
we always speak about that. Do you reckon they're male brothels?
Huh?
Do you reckon they're male brothels for like men servicing women's needs?
no, I don't think.
Because I'm aware of, I know it's more prevalent in America. I don't know in the UK though.
What is
but
it?
I know that there's male strippers that will go to female-only parties and do wild stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
But in terms of brothels,
I've definitely seen that.
I've wondered that myself.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Crazy Bear, Pornhub.
But you already know that.
Crazy Bear, Pornhub, yeah. But I don't even know if they're like, that would be nuts. I don't know if I could be, actually, maybe I could.
You know what
be
more
in the
nuts?
house,
Be a male
just
gigolo.
smashing wild chicks for dough. I don't know. I said my dick game's trash, so I wouldn't expect anyone to spend £10 on me right now. Still,
But you can just twang it, like say, yeah, cool. You pay me, but you do all the work.
that's a bit harsh, man. I want to take pride in my job. Do you know what I mean? Anything I do, I want to do
it's
well.
psychology. Think about it, yeah. You think of how much money dominatrix make.
Oh, that makes
You
sense.
see what I'm
That
saying?
is true. They make
So it's just the
lots
psychology,
of
like,
dough.
just the idea, because I don't know anyone who's ever been a dominatrix, but imagine a scenario where you're getting paid £50 just to pee on someone's face.
Beat someone.
Yeah, they don't even want sex. It's like, they slap me across the face a couple times, or just wee on me. Hey, I just paid the £50.
I'm not weeing on. Actually, hold on.
No, hell
Yeah,
no.
I have to think
couldn't.
about that.
No,
Would I? Do you know what? I would piss on the girl.
You'd piss on the girl.
If
I'll
they paid
piss
you
on
off
the
for
girl.
free.
I think I'd do it for free.
Would you? If you
I'm a stone cold freak, though.
Would you
I think
be
you
I
honest?
would have to
I
be
think,
like
I
on the.
think you would. I believe that.
I
Funny
think,
enough, I
I
believe you
think
would.
under the right circumstances, obviously, but there is a place in
What's the
time.
right circumstance?
I don't know, It's a bit messy. I
Oh,
don't
so
want
we-
to see and it can't be like after eating the asparagus and that.
Oh,
Not
you know them
you
ones.
had a hard night out and the bear Courvoisier pee in the morning. Not that. Ooh. No, not that type of pee. It'd have to be I've drunk 2, 3, 4 liters of
Pineapple
water,
juice.
and then maybe in the shower. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd actually be more weirded out. Like, you've got hot liquid running down you anyway in terms of water.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want the pee?
No, the shower can't be on. It could be in the
So why
shower.
not turn the shower on?
No, because that defeats the purpose. I want to see my pee on the person's face.
Oh Jesus.
This is when you know the ones where everyone's got levels in it.
I'm
My thing is like, so even girls ask me, so would you pee after you peed?
Nah, you're wilding. In the shower.
So
no,
like,
actually,
so
well,
after
we're in the
peeing,
shower.
okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
pee.
because you're clean. If you're in the shower.
Yeah, if you're in the shower,
like,
then
just wash it
like,
off,
do you know what I mean?
then
Just shower.
you're good to go.
And we can fuck afterwards.
Hey, by all means, God bless you. Like, it's up to you. Like, you do your thing.
But could you be a gigolo?
But the thing is, I've been asked before
And
to
then back
pee,
to
pee on someone, and I said no. And you could tell, like, the girls were so disappointed.
Oh, someone's actually asked you how you're
Sorry,
back
I didn't hear that. I just fell asleep.
I've been asked.
You've been
Someone's
asked to pee on
asked.
someone.
Yeah, I've been asked.
That's wild.
Yeah, like, well, it's not like it's more. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know which one's more wild. If I ask, yeah, can I pee on you, babe, or if she's asked to pee, like me.
You need to send me this girl's number immediately. I need her in my life. Who's asking to get peed on? That's a different type of level 3.
It goes back to what we're speaking on, where your sexuality, if you're open with it and the things you want to do, then speak it. As long as with somebody that you trust, and obviously I'm somebody that this person could trust.
Okay.
And she just brought it up, and it's
Shout out to the person you can trust.
But again, this is the thing, because that's the reason I like people to be open around me. Because say, for example, she wasn't that way inclined, and I made her feel uncomfortable. Now, say she was that way inclined, but I didn't make her feel comfortable saying it.
Yeah.
I would have gone on thinking that she would never do that, when it turns out that's what she's into.
Okay.
So I like people to be open, and then from there make a judgment call whether it can be casual or otherwise. But to answer your question from way back, would I see myself being a gigolo? It's hard, lad. Because it depends on the scenario. Let's say it's a thing that I would already beat, and after sex she just offers me $2 just to help me along my merry way. I might just do that. You know what I mean?
Might just take it from the pillow. Yeah. I'll take that 200.
On the bedside counter.
Yeah, like cool. And again, I'm not doing it because I'll do it anyway. But the thing for me is just maybe because of my upbringing is that I couldn't. If I did that, that's like, yo, this is an emergency. It's a quick side hustle. I'm doing this for X amount of time. Then I'm out.
So it's like JSA, job seekers. I'm only doing it for 2-3 months till I get myself on my feet, and then I'm gonna get that job, and then 3 years later. You still out there munching box for
But there's levels, because let's say, but this is the thing, because the same way, most of the time, because I saw a documentary, like a reality show on this, and the people that hire the services of gigolos, they're often people you wouldn't really beat. Like, an example might be, let's imagine now, yeah, like your mum's friends.
Oh,
that's because it's my mum's friend. That's wild. Okay.
Another thing that's wild, your friend's mums.
whoa, yeah.
Because it's like, just imagine that they start booking you. Like, yeah.
If
like,
it's Stacey's mum and she's got it going on, then I'm banging. But if it's
realistically, there's not
Frank Uber Luba Duba and it's his mum, then I don't know.
See what I'm saying, bro?
If it's Marcus Essian's mum, I don't know.
And it's like, and again, like, because me being African, right, that like is almost a sign of disrespect to try draw an African woman that's old enough to be your mum.
That's a deeper.
It's like
sin.
You know what I want? Like,
you hear what I said, guys? That's a deeper sin.
And it's funny because other races who might be older, I don't see as such. I don't see it as disrespect. But this someone that could look like they could be my mum and carries themselves like they could be my mum.
First of all,
wow.
If you try to trap her, she will beat you like she's your mum. Yeah. Just know you can't be doing that to African women. I don't know about you Jamaicans, but no. Sorry.
But this is
What's that?
You know what's funny?
That's how Nigerian people
you got
say
like,
Jamaicans.
because I will say this, like black women. And this is the type of black woman I want to be with. Like,
be careful
I'm talking like, say for example, the black women, a lot of black women of a certain age. Say for example, I'm 19 and this woman is 46. I just want to say,
and you try to draw of O and O alone. He's going into black Twitter right now, black female Twitter. Yeah, so I'm just gonna back up.
Oh, real talk. So let's say you're 19, you try to draw a 46-year-old. 9 times out of 10, you're getting. First of all, you're getting slapped down with the quickness. Second of all, it might be, I've got a daughter your age. Try to chat to her. It's completely getting shut down.
This is true.
So there's women in general at that age who would entertain that conversation of a 19-year-old, and there's women who will completely shut that down. I like the girls who will shut that down. Like Lisa Ray, for example, well in her 40s. I would chat, no question, I'm shooting my shot. No question. I see her, bang. Whether I get shot down or not, I don't care.
The 357.
But at the same time, she made a point in the interview that them got like she slaps man down my age and younger because she's got a daughter. I think her daughter's like around 25 or something. So I like them type of women. But to get into it, everyone has different scenarios in which they would ask for a gigolo and da. And again, you've got cougars. Generally speaking, because a part of me feels like I can make my money elsewhere, so I don't have to go that route. But would you be a gigolo? Like?
I don't know. I don't think I can. I'm not built like that. Does any of you actually know any like male prostitutes?
Yeah, I have, but like more in the gay community that I've known. It's not really that frowned. Well, it's frowned upon, but it's not. It's a bit more accepted. Like, I've known a few.
Who?
That university.
So even in the gay community, are we talking about? So, is it pretty much like the straight community? Is in.
But I think
people are people paying for sex? Are they like attractive men, or are we talking about like the sleazy old man in the corner?
No, it's both. It's both. But I think in the heterosexual world or the gay world, if you're a male gigolo, it is more accepted than a woman being. What does that mean? Sorry.
Turn that phone off on the podcast. You go on?
Yeah, so it is more acceptable if you're being a male and being a prostitute than a female prostitute, definitely.
Really?
It is, because like when you think about the male gigolos in America, they don't really get they do get frowned upon in their community, but if you think about them, you don't think about them the same way as you think of a woman who sells their body for sex, do you? I mean, you think, you think of it as quite funny, or do you know, it's a lot more lighthearted when you think about that situation than you do when you think it's a woman. You think, oh no, that's tragic. Why is she doing that? Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
true.
I do feel like, on a complete sidebar, the man that would literally fuck anything for free, like, you know, it's just that wild. The man will be world class gigolos. Because like, well, I would have because there's such a wide range of people who would be, or some wide range of people who would hire those services. You kind of got to be that open minded. As far as the gay community, I have no idea about that universe. I'm not even going to pretend to even speak on it. But I do think there is a stigma as well. Even though it's a lot more common when women do it. But again, I'm used to like female strip clubs, and females have to dance with guys that they wouldn't even chat to, but because money's on the line. So based on that, would you do something like that?
No, I'm not gonna go dance in a strip club. Just swinging, wanging.
Like, you've been calling yourself chocolate
wanging, man.
Like, you've been calling yourself
know why I'm really called the Dark
Destroyer, bro.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I wouldn't dance in a club, and actually wouldn't be a male prostitute for the pure fact that. For women, it's easier because they don't have a dick. And for a man...
For what? To be a stripper or
to be a prostitute. Because you don't have to worry about getting it hard. Now, if it's a guy you don't like, you could just use lube.
I think it's worse.
For a man...
If
it's a man... If it's a woman I don't like, for me personally, my dick's going to do like the tortoise effect, bro. It's going back in the shell.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you.
No
blue pill.
Apparently
you can give me that extra large blue pill. It ain't working on me, B. Yeah, right. I ain't even tried it, but I'm just no. If I see someone that looks like a brand, I don't know. It's not happening.
But this is apparently important. Like, there's a lot of there's guys who have sex with girls they're not particularly attracted to. And again, I've heard this because to cut a long story short, me and my boy was gonna shoot a porn documentary, so we done a lot of research on the thing. So apparently, as a guy, first of all, it's a lot more difficult to get in the porn industry. And to work your way up to start having sex with pretty girls, you got to start from the bottom.
Oh, shit, really?
Mad orgies where it's 50 man, one girl, double penetration, old girls, old women, ugly women, midgets, all that fetish stuff.
All you need is a massive dick, yeah? And then you can get into... As long as you can keep your dick up, and you're the new big dick in the industry.
But that had to come on cue, because a lot of times they say that men, because a lot of times they say, man, them man can fuck it, she's a painting, man can fuck it, But that's in the bedroom. When you got all the lights, and when the fact where there's a ratio of you're fucking in front of maybe 2-3 men, and you're just fucking a girl, and sometimes you'll be like, cool, you're beating, alright, stop, we've got to take some stills, keep your dick hard though, stop. I could go. Stop. I literally might say, might be a thing there, cool, you got to come now, come in the next 20 seconds.
Oh, God.
And on top of that, certain man might bust quick. So you might be doing this for like an hour, if not longer.
Shoots go on for...
So point being is...
Hours upon hours.
Yeah, so point being is, with the porn thing, is so much more complex. If you can come on cue and your thing's like good on looks good on camera, then cool. But some man under the spotlight...
Shout out to all my men that are in prison. If you want a job and you got a big dick, go into porn. If you think you can handle like being on a set, that's some regular income and you can become hood famous. I'm just saying. No, but just my opinion.
Some real advice. I don't know if this is the case now.
Ex-cons in the porn industry right now.
No, but like, this is some real advice because I don't know. It might have changed. It might still be the same. But the reality is because of how many men want to get into it. Right now, the only way as a man you can get into the industry is if you bring a painting. And if she says, I'm only going to work with him, that's how you get in. Most of the time, they're like, no, we got enough men. We will keep booking the same guys we've got. We don't need another man. So if you can bring 1 or 2 paintings and they're like, yo, I'm only going to fuck him, and by him I mean you, that's how you get in the door.
That makes sense, especially in this country because this, first of all, they're in I'm thinking it from a specific perspective. I'm thinking it from the black perspective. Jesus, can't even speak. But because there's not even that much of a bigger audience or market for black male performers, right? But when you go to the States now, that shit's opened up. So if you're the new 11-inch dick, now you can't come in with regular big dick, right? So if you come into regular big dick like 8 inches, right? No, like 8 inches might as well be small now. Remember when I said this before in the podcast, remember when 8 inches was like oh my God, it's massive. Now like 8 inches girls frown upon it. They're like, oh, that's a toothpick right now. You're coming with 10 or better, right? If you can do that, you're going into straight because there's so much. I'm not even going to go into that type of porn, but anyway, there's so much porn. But anyway, moving on from male gigolos, porn and all of that stuff.
Because I wanted to ask quickly if Kim would ever hire the services of...
Oh, hell no, I don't need to do that.
Do you know anyone who ever has or would think about it?
With males, nah.
Yeah.
No. It's not, I've never heard even someone go, even the thought of just the idea of maybe getting one. Yeah, it's just never crossed my mind and I don't
It just comes like a birthday party?
Yeah, no, not even strippers really. I mean, I went to that hot chocolate thing. No, was it Chocolate City? Chocolate City.
What the hell is that?
Did you not hear about that?
Nah.
At the beginning of the year, oh my God. Oh my God, it was massive. It was, so it was like coming off the fame of Chocolate City, the film, and then you got, what was the film before that? The white version? Magic Mike. So it's kind of,
as a Black Magic Mike.
Yeah. So come off the fame of that. So they were touring the UK. They did London, Birmingham, Manchester, and other cities in England. And what it was is just these male strippers just.
Wait, was it anything that Vivica Fox was a part of?
No. It's literally male strippers that came and did
Yeah. So
no movies, no nothing.
Oh my God, that was pretty big, and I think because of those films, it has boomed like the for male strippers. I think they actually got a regular night now in Shoreditch. I'm not sure where.
It was massive. My Facebook.
The videos I've seen though. Oh my God, can I just
beforehand, that was the best promotion I've ever seen.
Any girls that. In those videos that I've seen, shame on you. They're grabbing their dicks. These girls, no, I wasn't nowhere near the stage because it was just too much.
Oh, you weren't nowhere near the stage?
No, I did go once because my friend got up on stage. But
otherwise,
my friend, shout out to Tina. She got up on stage. But these girls were hungry. They were reaching out for their grabbing their dicks. Their dicks.
I've heard of that because
that's not
girl power. Girl power.
Not to that extent.
No, because the reason I know about this is because a girlfriend of mine many years ago, she went with her friends, or a friend of a friend, to one of those things, and like her and her friends were horrified by the experience, but they saw not just the grabbing, they saw girls sucking on like man's willies that
these girls were hungry. Yeah. Like it was.
And most of them they
Crazy
say
Bear.
Most of them say like we know we're beating every night. We're beating one of these things here. Not even if we don't have to drop no game. There's no bars like me would have to do, John. It's like we just put our willy out, see who's on it. Like the hardest thing is when, say for example, there's a line and you get there's like maybe 20 girls, you like, yo, number 18 looks penguin, or hopefully, but you might get like number 2 who's like 2 out of 10. You can't be like offensive and like pull your willy away.
I heard like they were having after parties every night, bringing girls back and all that shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of your virgins did those
No,
after
none of
parties
mine.
as well.
None of mine.
Yeah, that's what
None
they
of mine.
always say.
No.
Anyway, moving on. I have to give out the socials again because you guys don't listen and you're starting to get on my nerves. I love you guys and I hate you and I love you and I hate you. But it's JOOG space London on YouTube. JOOG space London on YouTube. You can find the new episodes uploaded every single Wednesday between, let's say, 5 and 7. Yeah. We aim to have it up, but definitely every single Wednesday a new episode will be out to listen to on your way to work, while you're making food, even before you go to bed. Just listen to it. Also find us on Instagram on JOOG_London. You know the socials. Back to the show. Harry. Good old Harry.
Oh yeah.
Good old Prince of the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
He's only gone and got himself engaged to Megan.
Megan.
Go ahead.
Megan.
Megan.
I think it's Megan.
Megan.
She's
Meghan
American.
Markle.
So how do they pronounce it?
Merkel,
in
right?
America?
Surname's Merkel.
Is it Merkel?
Or Angela Merkel?
No, I think it's Markle.
Markle? We're just butchering her name. Meghan or Meghan Markle. Now, I watch Suits.
Same.
Right?
Shout out to Suits.
And she was the paralegal in Suits. Now she's a lawyer. Yeah. Gone into a 4th year law, whatever. She's a lawyer at the law firm in Suits. Now, I always liked her. But I liked her in like season 1 or 2 because she was notably thicker in season 1 or 2. If you go back, you will see she had a fat ass in season 1 or 2. And then obviously she must have discovered bloody fit tea or something like that. Or she's on the 30-day juice diet because she's just slimmed down considerably. Not necessarily my cup of Darjeeling right now, but Mr. Harry, the old devil himself, he's only got engaged to her. What do we think about it, guys? Because it's been all over the news right now. And there's I've got a lot of opinions on this, but I just want to bring it out to you guys first.
To be honest, I don't really pay attention to like the royal family as much. But the only reason why I'm paying attention to this is because of the attention is getting, like the negative attention is getting. We've got trolls on there saying shit like, oh, what would Princess Diana say? He's with some, what's the word they keep using? Exotic. I don't understand. Why do they keep calling her exotic?
One word, racism.
Thank you. They're trying not to be racist, but it's exotic. What is this? Like she's mixed race. But come on, she's from America.
And you know what? I'm 100% with you. 100%. So first of all, my knowledge of because first of all, I'll tell you what the royal family's ever done for me. When I was a kid, I used to go to studio. Ironically, in the same place we shoot this podcast. And one day we couldn't come to studio to record. But I was told this as a 17-year-old. We couldn't come to record because Princess Anne was coming to an event and they shut down the whole venue. So none of the kids could go. So from that point, fuck the royal family because you should stop me from recording. And I got no access to music. So, but anyway, that to the side. We know what the royal family is. We know what this country is. And the same way, what's an interesting question is, why is somebody who's biracial or someone who has a little bit of black considered black? And how come somebody who's just as white as they are black, not considered biracial or mixed race, they're just considered black?
That is a whole deeper conversation right there on colorism. We can't even get into that. That's a 5-hour show right there. That's a segmented show. You got to look at regions of the world and why people call themselves black over here and people call themselves white over here. Why people call themselves Spanish when they're black, and there's too much to decipher it in.
That's fair. So we can move that to the side. I'll just give you the JOOG version. First of all, I'm happy for them to. At first, I was a bit annoyed because I thought, right, this must mean Suits is over. Because my whole thing is, whatever, are you just gonna finish the next season? That's all I care for.
Wait, is she an important character in it?
Yeah, she's the wife of one of the main characters. Oh. But at the same time, I found out that, you know, the intelligent dude who's got photographic memory.
Yeah.
He's leaving the same time as she is for different reasons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she's whoa. She's actually leaving.
She's leaving soon.
Gonna have to.
I didn't know.
So at the end of this season,
yeah,
which is going to be finishing, I think, is next year around March, April. It's a wrap.
Wait,
no more Suits. This is the thing. I think they're still going to try and write around those characters, so they're not going to leave, but the Suits might continue. But to be honest with you, I don't know how Suits is going to continue without
Michael.
And then even Mike. Yeah, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how it's going to work out. Do you watch Suits?
No.
Ah, cool.
Sorry.
It's a good show though.
That's okay.
Otherwise, before I can't lie, I was ready to like put her as a scapegoat. Like, you fucking bitch. No, like now because of you, Suits is over. And I love Suits.
But
you and Harry's love have ruined my
But
television experience.
When they get married, does she have to give up her job as acting? Because she.
Oh, well, come on! You gotta give up your whole life.
She can't be kissing. Well, she can't be kissing other dudes on screen.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't care, but Harry's a bit of a rebel. You know what
I mean? He'll be fine
Harry
with the
might
royal
be into
family,
cock
I
holding.
think.
You know what I mean? He might be into
to touch on your point,
watching the old missus getting there.
And Kim, to touch on your point about people say, what would Diana say?
Yeah.
If Diana was alive, she couldn't talk. You can't talk. When you're out here as a royal family, yeah, and you're out here with this next Dodie brother.
Yo, I saw a deeper meme, and it was just like, like it's a picture of his granddad, Edward. Is it Edward or Andrew? Edward, no, Edward, I think, yeah. And he's like, you know what happened to your mum, yeah, when she decided to.
Shit.
And it was about dealing with the next thing.
I was like, people are wild.
Yeah, you're openly disrespecting the royal family. Because you know how, first of all, in terms of the older generation, there's a mindset of, when it comes to marriage, you make your bed. I mean, you pick your bed, you make your bed, you lay in it. So if you've married someone, the divorce isn't a concept. And if you are going to divorce, at least be more quiet about it. Don't be so blatant. And the big narrative, I don't know whether this is true or not, that's another question, but the narrative of the whole Diana thing was she always felt like because she had the people on her side, she was bigger than the royal family. And that's what and again, I don't want to go too much in conspiracies. There's more of a positive now with this royal family at the wedding. I'm happy for them to. Harry, for me, is out of the royal family, he's just one person that I can actually see myself jamming with.
Yeah,
he won't call me an N-word. He's probably, because you know the ones where you got certain people who, they have racist family members. And if they crack a racist joke, the question is, would they laugh? I think Harry would be like, like when Prince Philip's gone mad, he's probably one of them white brothers like, for fuck's sake, granddad, like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but Harry's done and said a few things as well that have been quite questionable.
Apparently, my mum was telling me this, apparently he made a joke to someone, I forgot who it was, about a mixed race chick. He said, don't worry, she's not black, or something like that. This was a complete sidebar, but point being is, it would not surprise me. It would, let's be clear, them children are being brought up as white. Exactly. The fact that the mum, Meghan, is half black,
the mum
is a sidebar. I'm talking about their kids.
Oh, right.
Harry and Meghan's kids, if they have any kids. Them kids are not going to, they're going to be brought up with the full understanding, I'm as white can be. The people that they settle down with will probably white. And I honestly feel that the reason why it's probably seen as cool by the royal family-ish is because he's not really in line to be he's not in line to be the heir. Well, Too many people have to die for him to become king.
You know, there have been rumblings of black queens in this country before. We have Queen Charlotte, which North Carolina, the capital city, is called Charlotte, which that is named after Queen Charlotte.
I'm gonna check this out
Google,
right now.
There's an article in the Guardian.
Yeah, I saw
actually
something
have
recently,
a little good read.
In this country,
she was wife of George III. She's rumored to be.
I saw that.
You know,
but
she's mixed race.
But mixed race, because now for me,
but mixed race, that's black to me.
I disagree.
That's black to me, but that's a whole nother.
She went Portuguese side.
Sorry?
Portuguese.
Who's Portuguese?
The
I don't know whether Charlotte.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she's
half Portuguese, but black Portuguese.
I have no idea what she was. I was just reading the article. It doesn't actually say it in it. So there has been, or potentially has been, black in the royal family in this country.
So
this is not actually not a new.
She's race, but
this is not actually anything new. My thing about it is, I'm more concerned for like actually black people's views on this. It's really funny, and it's conditioning of like the oppressed to always be fascinated when the oppressor or the skin color of the oppressor gives them something. I'll explain it properly. So all you're hearing is Twitter, on every social media, people going, oh yeah, well done. Oh yeah, Harry's about to get a little bit of seasoning, and the royal family's gonna get a little bit more spicy. Well done, she's gonna come up, blah 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 blah. It's almost like we're always looking from the appreciation of white people. It's nuts. It's really, really nuts. The jubilation of, because or mixed race or biracial or black, whatever you want to call her, woman has got with a white man, everyone is having a fucking party. What type of nonsense is that?
I agree.
If she had got married to a famous black prince, see the crickets in this room, there would be no news story. But the fact that he's white, it's almost like jubilation. Yes, she's won the prize. This poor, and she might not even be poor. I'm sure she comes from an affluent family. The picture is painted. Everyone from a black narrative is thinking, oh, this poor young black woman, and she's been saved by this her white master lover man.
Prince.
It's just crazy.
Literally white
It's
prince.
really crazy, and it goes and it spills off into other aspects of the world. I've mentioned it tons of times in the podcast. It's just like, when the Grammys used to snub black artists all the time, why would you even want to go to the Grammys? Create your own awards. It's just like the Oscars, the same thing. Bollywood was like, oh, you don't want us. We create, Hollywood. You don't want us. We create Bollywood. Oscars. They have their own award show. Bollywood is larger than Hollywood. So it's just like, why do we always, as black people, or people of color, let's get this right, people of color worldwide, why do we always need to seek the approval of white people? It's nuts.
My answer is this: because of the conditioning that. I think it's called imperialism or whatnot, where you had historically white people of a certain class, they made conscious decisions to instill that conditioning into other races to maintain white supremacy. So the rationale was, for white people to survive, it has to be at the top of the food chain. So all of the actions was based on that. That's where the whole divide and conquer thing comes in. So if there's like 2-3 people that's the top of me in the food chain, if I can get them to fight each other, I can just sneakily come up the top of the food chain. So what these conversations are happening is a result of, in my opinion, is a result of that conditioning still being there. That's
exactly what I'm saying.
Because we was conditioned to not rate what we do. I mean, think about it, right? Take away race. Many people, say those who are employees versus employers, many people are conditioned to act on someone else's instruction rather than their own instruction in terms of what they want to do. So a lot of times you got people who are more comfortable taking orders than creating or having a decision made for them than making their own decision, which is another reason why so many people in our communities, anyone who's in like working class, it should be a thing where we actually work to be making our own decisions. So we have greater control of our own lifestyle and people we care for, rather than just being dictated to. That's a class issue. Never mind the race when you put into it. So I'm with you. The idea that all of a sudden you getting married into the royal family means you've made it. And let's be clear, if there was really change, if this now became a wave now, where there was bare mixed race children in the royal family, and then there was not even just mixed race, half black, half white. It could be just a whole mixture of races, then there's something more to speak on. But let's be clear. That conditioning in the royal family, if he was the heir to the throne, like, is William marrying a mixed race chick? No way. Nah. It's just something you get instilled in.
I'm hoping it's genuine. And the way the media have portrayed Harry, it seems like it could be genuine. He seems like a genuine guy. And it could be genuine love.
I think it's
I hope it is. It's just as I was saying, it's really interesting, the fascination. Like, a lot of people have come out and said a lot of, like you was talking about, a lot of the negative comments, the downright racist comments coming from white people against this union. For me, I can't be worried about white people and their issues with certain things. I haven't got all that time in the day for that. My concern is people of colour looking at it like it's the fucking second coming, this union. That is like that. The conditioning, it's just a little bit too much for me, and it's not that important. It's not your brother that's getting married. It's not that deep. It's not even that interesting. Do you know what I mean? It's a ginger dude married a girl that's not even that thick no more. She ain't even got to be that.
Honestly, in my mind, the only thing I was thinking of, I'll repeat what I said before. The only thing I was thinking of when I found out was, is Suits going to be cancelled? Honestly. Yeah. And then, like, it's been like a running joke on Twitter. That's like what a lot of people thought. Yeah. That honestly, because my mind was, this was before I found out about Mike wanting to leave. I'm like, please, like, don't ruin this show. Don't ruin this TV show. I don't care. Your personal lifestyle is your personal lifestyle. Cool, whatever. But I wish them the best of luck, though. I think Harry's intentions are genuine. The press, how they responded, it doesn't surprise me, because I was brought up. Yeah, you're right.
The press is the press.
I was brought up not thinking all white people are racist, but not being surprised, or to not be surprised if a white person turns out to be racist. So with the press, they're used to things being a certain way, and I do think as well, like, there's a facet of the white community, not necessarily in the working class backgrounds, but there's a facet where it's like, cool, you black people, you other people, other colours, you jam over there, you do your own thing. Regardless of what you do, we are going to preserve our own whiteness. And there's an argument to be had. I'll put this question out to both of you. Who, like, if, let's say, for example, you wanted to keep blackness in a child, for example, who do you think would come out more black? A mixed race kid with a white mother and a black father, or a mixed race kid who had the opposite?
Man, that's just...
They had a white father and a black mother.
That's circumstance. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It depends on the household. It depends on how their parents were raised, and what community they live in, and stuff like that. Maybe I'm getting a bit too deep, but we went a little bit deep there, guys. We went a little bit deep, but we have to go deep sometimes. It's not always fun and games all the time. Sometimes we need to delve deeper into these issues, and maybe we should start. I would love to get some specialists, like, on certain topics, and we could really bounce our ideas off and get a different perspective from different type of people on this podcast, because that would be really cool.
In closing, I'm happy for them too. I wish them the best of luck. How the press operate is a shambles, but it's no surprise.
I didn't do my AKAs. Man's got to do the AKAs. I'm a bit slacking at it. While I'm doing the AKAs, you guys remember the topics that we were going to bring up and pull them up on the computer while I'm doing my AKAs. Guys, you know what time it is. It's time for me to do the AKAs. You know it's Big John, all day, every day, 7 days a week, 365. You know I am the Chocolate Thunder, the one and only Chocolate Thunder. Shout out to Terry, but you ain't that guy.
That is funny. When I heard that,
I'm also the one and only Dark Destroyer, not Nigel Benn. You got a new Dark Destroyer in town, and I am the girl them sugar. Someone is gonna call me that. I'm getting close. I'm getting close again.
You might just go to a to pay them, like, yo, how much I have to pay to call me the Dark Destroyer?
I told you I can't be a gigolo. But that's me. I'm trying to think of a new one. What was the other one that I said? Mr. Untouchable, because of the police scare that I had. but I'm not going to go with that. I'm actually trying to think of a new one. I think by the next episode, I'm going to have a new AKA up and running. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'll definitely have that.
So today I came across, as you know, the last couple of days I've been coming across the same kind of article, which has been just shocking. What's happening in Libya.
Yo! Yeah, I've heard remnants, so you guys got to fill me in on it more.
Oh,
So basically what's happening is you're getting... So Libya is a port. Well, Libya is a country, and a lot of the West African migrants are traveling through Libya to get into Europe, basically. Yeah. But what's happening is they've become more stricter on the borders of the European countries that they will go from. So all of those migrants are being stuck in Libya. And what's happening now, they've essentially created, they've created a slave port, so to speak. So people are getting sold for like $400. Human beings, bro, are getting sold. Not like that hasn't been happening already, but this is becoming
out on the street.
Like this is no hiding, no shame.
People are getting bought and sold just.
You know what's funny, right?
Some predominantly West African, that's what I'm hearing, and some East African at the same time. Yeah. That's what some specifically Somalian are getting sold in Libya. It's nuts, and it's not even really getting press coverage. Do you see what I'm saying? It's nuts.
Because first of all, there's 2 points in that. First of all, I have to bring up the old school song from Clips, where a guy called Malice, you mentioned, where there's demand, someone will supply. So I feed them the needs and at the same time cry. A lot of these men aren't even crying, they just see demand and supply, like, raw. We got this, like, these people who are supposed to F off, they're just jamming here. We know people's prepared to pay X amount. Fuck it, we do it. It is painful to see though. I think the reason why there's not much media attention in the Western news is because Western news has an agenda of its own.
Of course.
So if now little Stacey was part of it, now little Stacey, she was on holiday with her African boyfriend.
You know, everywhere.
Babatunde. She's on holiday with Babatunde.
Yeah, or she helped Babatunde like cross over, and she was involved. Oh yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, we got free Stacey. She's part of this F3. That's what it comes down to. Other than and also you can argue even there's so many things that happen in the world in general that doesn't get touched on by Western media for that same reason. What agenda can we serve? I mean, we know the Western society is like inherently racist. I'll give you an example, right? I used to do market research. So I used to call people on the phone and ask for surveys to get done from different places. Now, I used to use my name, full government. There was a choice. You can use your government name or you can create your own pseudonym or whatever, yeah? So I used my own name thinking, I'm too slick. Like, I'm good enough to get surveys done. I don't have to create a name. And then someone, like, literally, ironically enough, there was a lot of Nigerians who worked at where I was at. They said, yo, doesn't matter how good you are, change your name to the whitest name you can find. Because when I'm saying, all right, man, and it's what they do, like, what, bear, stammering, bear, all of that. And then I changed my name.
So you're like them guys from the call centers, like George from Mumbai. George from Mumbai, yeah? No, you know his name's not George.
But this is the thing, because legally you can do it. You just need to keep the same pseudonym. The point is, if that person says George Fieldley from Mumbai, they should be able to trace it to whoever created that name. Okay. So the point is, I came up with I won't tell the people what my name was. And then as soon as they heard it, like, oh, what can I do for you? Insert name here. The conversation completely changed. And the thing is that with many people in this country, they're not even aware of that. That certain things they might treat differently. And with a lot of these news people, they're aware, like a lot of them aren't really, they just watch numbers. So it's not really personal, it's just business. So if they say, yo, more people will gravitate to the news of a poor white 6-year-old than a poor black 6-year-old, that's what it is what it is.
We also have to look at this, for me, look at it as a regional problem as well, as a continent problem. And we have to look at what, again, this comes down to colorism again. and tribalism and a little bit of classism as well. We got to look at what's the makeup of Libya. What do they look like? What shades of black are there? This is a really valuable question. Because do they look like West Africans? Do they look like North Africans? Are they Muslim? Because if they're Muslim, then they're going to side with their Arabic masters, and I do mean that. And then when you look at within Arabic culture, it's very much colorism comes into play. The what boy? Don't even let even get started in colorism. So, and Arabic, there have been so much. The slave trade through the Arabic culture has been there for goddamn nearly thousands of years, right? Yeah. And that's still happening in so many countries to this day. So you need to take all of those factors into it. Or is it fellow dark-skinned, midnight black Sudanese type of people that are doing it? All of these factors need to come into play. Forget whether the Western media are covering it. It's what is the motive behind it? Because if it's, let's say, black on black, air quotes, crime, then what the hell's going on? What the hell is going on in Africa right now?
For me, like...
And who are they getting sold to as well? Are they getting sold to other black families? It's crazy.
Because you know what it is, right? That's the reason why, there used to be like amongst black community. Kim, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from originally? Philippines. So it's a weird one where in a black community, for example, or even mixed race example, is that even a better example? Have you ever heard the phrase black mixed race and white mixed race?
No.
Or someone favours...
So it's the idea is
traits.
Basically, so someone who's white mixed race is someone who acts more like they're white.
Oh, okay.
And a black mixed race is someone who's acts like they're more black.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And the point is, with race was attached at one point certain beliefs, certain ways of life, as an example. But because of how things have got, there is like, you can argue there's a black mindset, but at the same time, there's people who are white who have a lot of the same mindset as the stereotypical black mindset. You know what I mean? So an example might be washing chicken. And something like, some cultures like, washing chicken, what? And then us is like, that's a foregone conclusion to wash chicken. The same way, one culture, when you season chicken, salt and black pepper is enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little
but to us, it's like,
salt and black pepper.
Yeah, so as an example, point being is, now the mindset and skin color is separating out. So just because of your skin color doesn't mean you have the same mindset of that culture you once had. So my question to you, Kim, is, do you or have you come across anyone who's from the Philippines? Or so that's first question actually.
Yeah.
Is there a Filipino culture stroke mindset commonly shared amongst those who are Filipinos?
What, like English Filipinos?
Yeah, we start with English Filipinos. And is there like also someone who's Filipino or British Filipino who you've seen doesn't seem to have that same culture or mindset?
It's hard for me to answer that question because I don't know many Filipinos.
Okay.
I think I have about 3 Filipino friends, so I wouldn't be the best person to give a substantial answer. But I like to think I'm very Filipino.
See what I'm saying? And this is the thing, because it's a great point you're speaking on, because at the end of the day, take the culture aside, one of the things I might argue the Western society introduced into the world is greed. The concept of thinking about yourself before your people. I think you can argue a lot of cultures did that. However, there's always one or two who thought about themselves before their group. I think that's how the Western society or the Western Empire managed to conquer so many countries. Because apparently slavery wasn't started by British, it was started by the Spanish and Portuguese. So point is, divide and conquer, we find that one person is the most selfish, So a lot of these African countries who now doing corruption, honestly, I think they're just playing, the same with ISIS. I honestly feel that those guys are playing the game at an amateur level that the Americans and the British have already mastered.
Okay. So what you're trying to say, bringing it back to Libya, is hurt people. So it could be black people doing it onto fellow black people, but that's because they've been damaged in the past and they've been conditioned to think a certain way. So it doesn't even matter that person's black.
I would say that's it. I would say, not to say hurt people, but first of all, think about yourself and only yourself. That's like, again, it's been said, that's the foundation of evil, period. The fundamental principle of evil is when you think, not only when you think about yourself and no one else, but you're prepared to step on other people's toes or even hurt them to get what you want. So a lot of these guys are thinking, that's money. Yeah. These excess people, that's money.
Yeah, it's like what you said, supply and demand. Like, these people are just here, they haven't got nowhere to go to, so
these guys are like an extra 8,000 in a day. Imagine I can make an extra 8,000 a day. Yeah, I could do with another golden toilet. Mm-hmm. Cool.
I think the only good thing to come out of this situation, and it's crazy to say a good thing coming out of this situation, it's the fact that we're having this conversation, which is really important. And it helps shed the light on slavery in general, because let's not lie. You look in most crime movies that have Eastern European gangs, they talk about sex trafficking on a regular as one of the businesses. Yeah. That is slavery, people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we know slavery is going on, yet it's not prevalent enough.
Yeah, there needs to be more awareness. It's like that story as well that came out last week about that young girl who got she was trafficked from a young age, the one we were talking about.
Oh yes,
and she got sentenced. She actually killed one of the guys. She was 16. There was one of the guys that she had to prostitute herself for. He was like 46. She got the courage she killed him, and she got like a life sentence.
Only in America that can happen. Only, seriously.
She was 16 years old.
And the worst part of it was her mother was a sex slave and her grandmother was a sex slave before her. Mm. And it's like, if there's ever a get out clause for killing somebody, surely it's that. I mean, but as I said, that's one of the reasons why I'll be like nervous at the idea of living in America. The laws from state to state is so wild.
America's becoming more. It's becoming more repressed with their laws, and third world countries are becoming more civilized with their laws, because understand, America's like Nigeria, fam.
I think it's
real talk. You just bribe. It's open bribery now. Like, I say the most corrupt country in this world is the UK, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why it's the UK is because, man, they just got their fingers in every single pie. And they talk corruption of the highest level. But they hide it the best. There's no one better than the UK at hiding corruption. Facts. You can't top the UK. Followed was America. Yeah. But, Jesus Christ, America's just took a leaf out of Nigeria's book and like, we don't care no more.
Whoa,
we're going to tell you we're corrupt.
We're going to rewind that. Let's be clear, fam. Like, Nigeria, the reason why you can shit on Nigeria is because they're playing at the game at such an amateur level, we look like clowns. America is Champions League, fam.
No, America was champion. America was Real Madrid, yeah? But now they're like Basel. They're Basel now.
Let's be clear, yeah. Nigeria is conference, fam.
Yeah, Nigeria's like, all right, cool. It might be League 2, yeah, when it comes to corruption.
Like where levels below.
But we are. But America's going on the decline. They're the decline. They might not even make it to the Champions League of corruption next year, like for hiding it no more. It's so out there in the open. Look at their president.
Well, you know what?
Look at the campaign.
But pre this though.
The man is gonna get impeached.
Riddle me this, Kim. Yeah. I don't know what's more gangster. The fact that I'm shagging you and you don't know it, or I'm shagging you, you know it, but there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. What's more gangster? Because right now, Donald Trump was openly racist.
That is what. And what do they do in African countries? It's the same dictator. Yeah. You're gonna hold this shit. like you like it, and there's nothing you can do. And you know I'm fucking you over, and you're just gonna have to accept it. And that's what's happening in America now. And before in America, my God, they used to do that with a smile
to
on
touch
the
your
face, bare smoke and mirrors.
I love where this conversation is going.
They're blatantly doing like the most shit, but they're not covering up as they like before. It'd be a bit more discreet, but now they're like, wait.
Because you know what it is as well, yeah? Like, with Britain, they're looking at America like, yo, we can control our guys without even having to use guns.
Woo!
And the Americans, like, it's like the Wild Wild West. But at the same time, my thing is that with, like, Nigeria is like I can't openly talk because I will get let down. But in America, it's like, I'll be disappeared. They'll give my family some story like, yeah, he just ran away to Colombia. At least in Nigeria, I know I got shot. My family would know I got shot in it. In America, it's like, bro, I get some. Why they might even call me a terrorist?
Sorry, I swear there is a little thing called cops killing black people in front of everyone on social media. No hiding. Pat, two to the head. Nothing's happening.
I swear they're not
out
even
in the open. In Nigeria, how about this? They will take you to the bush, then shoot you. Mans are doing it in the middle of the highway, in front of the kids, on Twitter, tweeting their brains.
There's no repercussions, so they're just doing it.
But I think
they're just doing it.
The reason why, because in Nigeria, you know,
America might be
as soon as you go to Nigeria, you know what it is. But in America, at least they twang you to think, right, it's the land of the free.
That's the only reason why I'm allowing them a sliver of respectability when it comes to corruption, right? Or a sliver is because they still have that land of opportunity, land of the free. You can do all of that.
Because you know what it is, right? The whole point of it is, I know for a fact the higher ups in America, there's a barrage of them that think the same way as America. What Britain was what brought to America was, in terms of getting rid of all the Native Americans, like, yo, we think just as nasty as you do. We can just do it subtle, like minimal blood loss. You know what I mean? If anything, get them two to fight each other rather than us fighting them. And with America, it's a bit more bossy, like, fuck it, I'll do all the shooting. You know what I mean? So even with Donald Trump, there's people behind him like, but this is the point. Man, what can you say to somebody who won an election being openly racist? What can you say? Now, if he had his racist intention, he suppressed it, then he's like, okay, keep it suppressed. But you can't tell me nothing. If I've weed on a girl's face and she's on it, you can't tell me about cheating on her, right?
Hey.
Weed on her face,
hey. First of all, if I weed on a girl's face, baby, I'ma treat you right. Yeah. I have respect for you still afterwards. I might try.
I'm talking from the beginning. This is an extreme example to prove my point. But even like from the beginning, you didn't even work your way up to that point. Like, well, you took your dates first, you treated me like a queen, then you weed on me still. Like, no, we did you from the beginning. The point is, he started up. Imagine if someone came up to you like openly said, "Fuck you," and same example is like, let's say you employ somebody who works for you. In the interview, they said, "Fuck you, go suck yourself," and you hired them. How can you tell them about behaving in the workplace in the interview? They told you to go fuck yourself,
and this is why. And this is why you have proved my point better than I could have proved my point that America, your Champions League rights have been revoked. You've got knocked out in the group stages this time. Next year, you're not in the Champions League. You can't cover your corruption. They are the winners of the Champions League of corruption.
No,
but for covering it, you're out. I'm sorry.
I don't know how to do it, but the point is. What happened with the election was more of a reflection of the American people. You can't do that in England. You can't be openly racist and win an election.
I know.
You can't.
And
not
this
right
is
now.
why England. I said America.
Maybe I'll get proved wrong.
America was Real Madrid but England was always Barcelona, bro, and always
more classy with it.
They are slick to the hill. You can't. No.
Do you know what? Moving off subjects, I think we've been talking this for a while. You haven't mentioned, the weekly update of.
My little weekly shenanigans updates.
The listeners have been waiting.
This will be
nice. My beautiful love life is gonna be
just from talking about politics. That'll be a wave.
It is a fan favourite, but I'm gonna have to let down my fans this weekend.
Oh, no.
Weekend. or whenever you're listening to it. It's because the time we have shot this episode has actually been earlier, and I didn't go out this weekend.
Don't snitch on the team, fam.
I didn't actually go out this weekend. I was at work, but I have a story. If my listeners have time to listen to this, and this is a story that's called "Why Do Girls Get on My Fucking Nerves." It's a very short story. There's this girl I know.
It's not me, is it?
It's not you.
Okay.
You're a he/she. Remember, I would say.
Oh, yeah, it's a he/she.
There's this
That's
girl.
a bit wild.
I'm not actually.
Yeah, she is.
Even
I
though
would be
there's nothing
surprised
wrong
if she had a bigger dick than me. And she. Oh, this is gonna cause some problems, but we ain't scared. We're honest here.
Oh, go on.
She knew I was leaving my particular workplace that I was working in, and.
Would you be leaving for the night or leaving?
Leaving the place I'm at. I've left. Yeah, I'll be at different places now, and she didn't come and say goodbye to the kid. No, nothing. You know where you share time together, you shared experiences. She just didn't. There ain't they're just raw. Just nothing.
Like, I was only
you know what I mean?
Because we went to the same
and
place.
The lead up to that, like, she was supposed to bring me some stuff, like, you know. She was supposed to bring me some stuff. I don't want to go into what she was
How long
bringing.
ago was this?
How long ago was this? I left this weekend.
This weekend, okay.
So
and she
on the
contacted
weekend.
you since to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, why did
Nothing.
take the L and go?"
No.
How long have
I'm not even know. There's no taking the and there's no and go because there was no start place. This is just a more. And I'm not even fucking this girl, by the way. This is not. I shouldn't say. It's just a girls get on my nerves. I actually formed a friendship, a bond with this person. Do you know what I mean? Like,
how long have you been working with her for? Or in the same?
Not working. She just. It's attached to this workplace, I will say.
Okay, so how long have you known her for then?
3 months.
Oh, yeah.
Still no, but listen, you grow bonds with people. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
It doesn't matter how time period doesn't matter, especially when you're in an isolated bubble. That's even worse.
Yeah, I hear you. I think there's levels to this thing. You know how it is that there's some people's like, yo, I only chat to you because we're in the same place. We're cool. We do banter.
Yeah.
You know, like you have work husbands. And like work,
But outside of
wives.
work, you would never like speak to them.
Yeah, so it's like I want to really speak to you outside of this.
Yeah.
And I've got my real husband or real wife at home.
Let me just keep it real. If I've ever told a girl that she's my work wife, I'm not gonna lie. If you're listening to this and I've called you my work wife, that's because I wanted to smash. Anyway, carry on.
But again, it's just like there's levels. There's some people the same way. I often define my friendship with someone based on what they say. So if you think we're cool, we're cool. If we're friends, we're friends. Because I hate the idea of, oh yeah, we're friends, but to them like, no, we're just cool. I hate that. So that's what like. So it happens, bro. And I always try to read as much as I can. And oftentimes, I will be quick to just offer a handshake to someone, and they'll just offer to hug me. Like, no, we're at that place now. Rather than me making an assumption and I try a hug, and I get the embarrassment of them kind of swerving.
I hate those awkward.
You know the ones.
Yeah, I rather.
Yeah, you set the pace. And then I'll follow suit. Because I have no problem I can be cool with someone in the space of a day. I can do hugs and daps in the space of a day. I'm cool like that because I'm open. But I just want the idea of me thinking, yeah, what's good, my brother, you cool? And so like, no, we're not that cool, my brother.
Well, it hurt me. I'm a sensitive soul. I wanted to show my sensitive side because all the girls that listen to this, they think I'm some sort of player gigolo, like you're always at drawing girls and all this. I want to show that I'm sensitive too. Like, when I meet people, I form bonds and friendships and that.
No, it's true.
It hurts when they don't feel the same way.
I can't lie, there's been people where you might meet somebody in a scenario and you get on with them so well, you're chatting to them like you could be best of friends or for anything else, and then literally you might not even reply to their text straight away. It happens, bro. It's just life.
Right. Okay. We're at the end of the show, guys.
Yep.
And just
emails?
know there are no emails.
Okay.
I'm going to bring the emails in the next episode.
Okay.
I'm going to bring them back because I forgot to bring them again. But come episode 18, when episode 18, I would have gone to Copenhagen. Woo woo! I'm going to Copenhagen, guys. and boy,
Yeah.
there'll be some shenanigans to report about then. But socials, please.
It's Emilio, that's EMMILLIO. I think I said that right. _ on Instagram and Twitter. And then my SoundCloud is Emilio. Once again, that's EMMILLIO.
Kimberly.
It is Kim Bobo Fo Show. That is on my Instagram. KIMBOBOFOSHO.
Sound like fabulous. FOBO, and you know what the JOOG London socials are by now. It's JOOG space London. That will take you to the YouTube page, and then click on all of the beautiful episodes that are up. Instagram is JOOG_London. Facebook is JOOG London. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Kim, I'd like to say thank you for coming on the show again and giving your wonderful insight on all these issues that we're talking about today. We've gone from Libya. We spoke a little bit about Trump, slavery,
prostitution.
Like, we've had a deep episode today. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Keep listening, guys, and we out. Peace.
Yeah.